I have been using camera gimbal for more than 5 years. These days, a lot of smartphone comes with inbuilt camera stabilization to give you a stable footage. But when it comes to bigger cameras like DSLRs or mirrorless cameras, I personally don't know of any which can give you a stable handheld footage. And that's where the importance of a camera gimbal comes into the picture. In this video, I will be sharing my 5 years of experience using a camera gimbal in just 10 minutes. So stay focused and sit tight while I teach you something interesting today. I will start with some do's and don'ts when filming with a camera gimbal, and then I'll share my favorite 6 camera gimbal moves which I use very often in my shoots. The gimbal that I'll be using in this video is Zhiyun Molus 3. Its sleek design and powerful grip allows me to stay focused on the shot without worrying much about the amazing output. What makes this gimbal really stand out is that this gimbal comes with inbuilt light, which is soft in nature and can be really helpful in low light condition. And it also has a mic. So without wasting much time, let's start with some do's and don'ts when you're filming using a camera gimbal. First one is, do not use a joystick when you're filming using a camera gimbal. I know it looks very tempting to move your camera around using a joystick in your gimbal, but I have personally experienced that it creates a jerk in your motion and it is very visible in your final output. So I usually avoid using a joystick when I'm filming using a camera gimbal. Also, when you are taking a pan shot or a tilt shot, try avoiding using a joystick, rather use your body movements to achieve the best results. Second point is, when you are filming using a camera gimbal, do keep this thing in mind that most of the gimbals are 3-axis gimbal and your body movements acts as a 4th axis. So never just casually walk around with your gimbal and try filming. Rather be very careful with your movements when you're filming using a camera gimbal so that you can get a final smooth footage. Otherwise, when you are walking, the 4th axis creates a jerk in your motion and it is very clearly visible in your videos. Third point is, you must be well aware of the payload capacity of your gimbal and never try to overweight your gimbal, because that will affect the final output that you get. It'll create some jerk in your motion and it'll be very clearly visible in your final footage. Also, it might damage the motor of your gimbal, so always try to know the payload capacity of your gimbal and never try to overweight it. Alright, now let's talk about my favorite 6 camera gimbal moves which I use very often for my shoots. First one is the follow shot. Now this is a very simple shot and can be easily achieved just by framing your subject right and then carefully following them, maintaining a smooth movement. You can either do this following from behind or from front of the subject. For this shot, I always try to keep my subject in the center of the frame and try to find some leading lines to get the best output. Second one is the jib or a crane shot. This shot is often used to reveal a location and it can be easily achieved just by moving your camera gimbal from top to bottom or bottom to top depending upon the requirement of the shot. You can also add slight motion towards left or towards right while you are moving your camera gimbal from bottom to top or top to bottom to make your footage look even more cinematic. Third one is the side track. Now you can get really creative with this one and it is very easy to achieve. All you have to do is frame your subject right. Try to keep your subject in the first line or the second line of the grid depending upon which direction your subject is looking at, and then carefully move along with your subject in that direction. You can introduce a foreground in your frame which will make your footage look even more cinematic, and in this specific move you can create some really cool transitions by introducing a block in your frame. So let's say if your subject is moving from left to right or right to left, you can introduce a block and then lead it into another location. Next one is the push in or push out shot. This shot can be easily achieved just by framing your subject right and then carefully moving towards the subject or away from the subject, keeping your movement stable. This shot is often used to reveal a location or visually describe the depth of a place. You will get the best results by using a wide angle lens. In my case, I use a 17mm lens to get the best output from this specific move. Now the fifth one is the orbit shot. Now this is my favorite camera gimbal move, and to achieve this, keep your subject in the center of the frame and move around in a circle. You will have to mentally visualize your frame, and will also have to use your wrist movements to ensure that your subject stays in the center of the frame. To make this shot look even more cinematic, try using a lens above 35mm, anything like 35mm, 50mm, 90mm, 85mm, because what happens in this case is the background moves faster than your subject, which is the foreground. So that creates a parallax sort of effect, and it looks really cool and it looks really cinematic. Sixth one is the Dutch angle shot. Now this is a very unusual sort of a move and it is not very popular, but I personally love this move because it can be really helpful to make your footage look more intense and to make your subject look more strong. Now to achieve this shot, all you have to do is move your camera gimbal closer to the ground and frame your subject right, and then move along with your subject. You can either take a still frame or you can move along with your subject after framing it right. Zhiyun has sent me these amazing portable lights Molus X100, which comes with a portable softbox. This is actually more powerful than the light I am using right now at my home, as it is 60 watt, while the Molus X100 is a 100 watt light. And it is very small and portable, so I can fit it in any backpack and I can travel with this light. So now I can create a professional setup while being on the move. So I'm really curious to take this light on my next adventures, and I'll be happy sharing the reviews with all of you about this light. So that's all from this video. I hope this video helps you start your journey using a camera gimbal, or if you're already using a camera gimbal, I hope this video is of help to you. Do let me know your feedback in the comment section. Also, you can ask me any questions in the comment. I'm happy to answer them. I'll see you soon in the next one. Until then, peace.